Welcome back to Force 13 Live. My name's Nathan Foy, and we're joined by the Skype team, the same ones you were speaking to or listening to not so long ago. John, David, and Adam in the room, unless they've added someone else in the meantime.
Okay, you want totals? I'll deliver totals because I got cut off because, we were going on break. So I did drop the 15 to 17 name storms I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating about, I'd say 6 to 10 becoming hurricanes. I mean, that's a bit on the high end, but again, the low end of that is an average number per se. And then majors, I know we're gonna have at least one, so I'm gonna say 1 to 5. Actually, 1 to 3. Sorry, 1 to 3.
All right, guys.
Actually, you know what? 1 to 5 is better. 1 to 5.
Hi, Michael.
1 to 5.
1, 5. Yes.
We're joined by someone else in the room.
All right.
Good evening, Michael.
Life.
Michael.
Welcome to the chat room.
Can you?
I'm sending you some details on how this is gonna play out. Okay. Sending you some details privately.
Oh, you see, I've just changed my profile picture as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's on my new logo.
So, Force 13 HQ is 9:02 PM UTC. That's 10:02 here, and we're edging ever so closer to the official start of the Atlantic Hurricane season 2016. The East Pacific's already been in effect for 15 days or so, 16 days. I was going to say years then.
We're just moving ever so close.
We are indeed, John. Yes, nice.
Audio quality
expression
fail.
There, yes. All right.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
So Nathan, I will ask Michael some questions, and Michael will answer some questions.
Okay.
Is this a game show?
No,
Not quite.
Not really. It's just an easier way to expedite things and to get points across without dragging it out too much. Okay.
The floor is yours. You're
Okay.
live. The floor is yours.
Live.
You're live.
Okay. So Michael Scott, tell me, what do you think is going to happen with this upcoming 2016 Atlantic hurricane season?
It could be interesting. I'm looking. I've been saying this for the past couple of years now. I've been saying, "Oh, we're going to get a Category 5. Oh, we're going to get a Category 5." I'm not so sure on it this year, but saying that, it's probably going to be that it does happen.
I think that out of the past couple of years, this would be the type of year that it would definitely happen.
I am sharing a countdown that I've done as well. That's till the start of the Atlantic hurricane season.
No.
Oh dear, that's add 1 more hour to that, bud.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
It's true. It's on London time.
London time is an hour ahead of UTC.
No problem.
I'm afraid.
Right. So
2 hours 55 minutes.
Michael Scott, here is your second question, Michael. The second question is, what do you think about Bonnie?
Well, Bonnie. Personally, I would have said, with the storm at the moment, it would only be. I would have called it subtropical. Personally, the NHC had screwed that up there a little bit, and I think it should have been classified subtropical more than tropical, really.
Yeah, but the NHC or the NHC. That's all I can say. Really.
Well, I don't think it was subtropical. I think it was tropical, but it had difficulties. I think it was a tropical storm briefly, and when it was looking its most impressive, when it was blowing up.
It was sort of trying to become fully tropical. It did just, but then sort of slipped back to sub.
Well, the way I see it is that at no point did Bonnie was subtropical. It was fully tropical throughout its time. That yes, indeed, Bonnie had a very hard time. But as I've said in the beginning, Bonnie is a fighter. No matter how ugly she looks, no matter whatever the battle she's in, she came out on top, and surprised quite a few people. I do have to say though, looking at it last night. Late last night, early this morning, Bonnie's convective activity really started to get pretty good. It started to refire the convection as soon as the system came back offshore, and it started to wrap around the convection. At the time, the conditions in the upper levels weren't too great. It was pretty good, but it wasn't too great. So. That's why we kind of had a little bit of a fail with the convection. It's a little bit. I mean, it's still there, but it's a little bit of a fail.
May I just say quick? So there's some comments that have come in about some people bringing in their forecast as well. We've got like
I'm
Ground
sure there'll
on
be a
Science.
lot of that tonight.
There's Ground on Science, which has 16 named storms, 8 hurricanes, 1 to 4 majors. That's a bit ambitious, isn't it?
Not really for this type of season. It's a La Nina year.
That's Orlando.
Really, it's pretty standard.
If I'm going to say my numbers,
the inevitable has happened.
Okay,
Sebastian as well. That's ambitious again.
I do have to pop in this here. Sorry for butting in, Michael. The Colorado State University is reissuing their hurricane season forecast tomorrow. Tomorrow they are indeed issuing their June 1st hurricane season forecast. I am intrigued to see what they will indeed say. Gut feelings telling me that they're going to be bumping up the numbers again, and a lot of the forecasts that have been coming out around late April, during this month in May, a lot of the forecasts, especially during the later period of this time, has been bumping up the storm numbers for the season, and I don't dispute that at all. I do think that this hurricane season will be an active season, and we could very well be seeing a hurricane season that will be more active than what we've seen in the past couple of years.
It's not that exactly hard to do, though.
Can I quickly give?
It's not hard to do, but I think it will pass what we've seen over the last couple of years by quite a bit, to be honest.
Can I quickly just give my forecast as to what I think might happen?
I was going to give my numbers again just for comparison's sake. I said 15. I said how much again?
You don't even
15 to 15 to 17 named storms, and then I said 6 to 10 hurricanes and 1 to 5 majors. That's what I think I said.
Yeah, that is indeed what you said.
So maybe Michael has something different.
Yeah, looks like also we have a very late start of the 2016 Pacific typhoon season. I wasn't really paying attention to the Pacific typhoons at the moment. Apparently there's been a small tropical depression.
That was more of an invest or less of a depression.
It's been listed it's been listed as depression because I think JMA
TD.
Yeah.
Also, I was saying about my numbers
your
for for this year's Atlantic hurricane season, I will be calling possibly, I'd say 20 depressions.
Ooh.
Okay. Of which I'd expect 15 to be named storms.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a lot of depressions and a lot less than. That's a lot of depressions.
I'd say 7 hurricanes. I'd say 7 hurricanes, 2 majors, one of which I think will go on to become a Category 5.
Plausible.
Plausible, yes.
It's plausible. It's definitely plausible, no doubt. It will be interesting to see, and if you do get it bang on at the end of the season, I would happily congratulate you, Michael, and when I get up there, I'd probably take you out and we go do something great and fun.
I think Lee was here long ago. Is he still with us?
No.
Oh.
Also saying, can I give the forecast for other basins?
I was gonna.
We're expected to be here for 4 hours, not 4 days.
Well, I'm just do EPAC and Westpac.
Okay.
I was gonna speak briefly.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I didn't include Category 5 numbers in my season forecast because I'm not 100% certain we'll get a Cat 5 this year. I'm not putting any chips down on the table, but I am saying a wide range of what we could see for major hurricanes 1 to 5, because it could be one of those years where you could see 1 or 2, like 2012, when you have a lot of storms. 2012 only had 1 or 2 majors. That's it.
2 things that I highlighted: there is a greater than half chance of a Category 5 in the Caribbean, and a greater than 60% chance of a 150 mile an hour Cat 4 or higher in October this year.
Yep.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
They're my own numbers.
That's his calculations with his numbers, which I would definitely, in terms of my calculations and my numbers, I would say it's pretty close to Nathan, pretty close indeed. Is David still on?
I'm still here.
Right, David. Have you any thoughts on what the Atlantic might produce?
I'll have to come back with an answer.
Can I quickly give you on EPAC and Westpac?
Okay, Michael. I'm intrigued to hear what you have, especially for the Eastpac season. Let's fire away.
Okay. Well, with the early formation with Parley, I will include this in the forecast as well. To take away a named storm and a hurricane. Looking EPAC, that's going to be an interesting one this year. It's going to be more, I'd say, more lower activity. There won't be as many major hurricanes. Though, honestly, from what I think, it's been quite surprising over the last sort of few months. So I'm going to whack out some numbers. I'd say I'm still going to stick probably about 19 depressions, 18 to become storms, of which I'd expect 9 to become hurricanes, 4 majors, 2 of which become Category 5s.
Nice. Have you just a couple of questions on that, because I am intrigued on your numbers with the Eastpac season. That you have considered the developing La Nina as well as the recent cooling in the PDO and the Eastern Pacific tropical region.
Yeah, well, from what I'm thinking more as well is, I'd say I wasn't going to say there'd be like coastal EPAC storms, because the with my EPAC it does include the CPAC as well.
Okay.
I think there will still be a bit more of an active CPAC season. But it looks as though
I disagree.
more of the storms will be in the more central Pacific and also far east Pacific part of it as well.
I haven't really done any analysis for the Central Pacific, but I can say that the eastern part of the West Pacific is expecting much less activity this year.
Yep.
It suggests to me the Central Pacific will be rather quiet.
Also, okay, go ahead, John.
My East Pac numbers are probably going to be substantially lower than what you just said. I'm thinking for total named storms 9 to 11. I'm for hurricanes 4 to 6. For majors 1 to 2. So I think I took a big knock compared to your numbers.
So you're going for a sort of below average season because the average.
I'm going for a way below average season.
Because the average between 1981 and 2010 had 15.4 named storms, 7.6 hurricanes, 3.2 majors.
I'm going way below the mark.
I would have to agree with possibly average to below average, and mainly because of this La Nina and the potential of this La Nina to become around the moderate to strong range. That and also the recent trends with the cooling of the Pacific waters in the tropics and northern Pacific regions as well. So my numbers for the East Pac season is substantially lower than what it was last year, and I'm expecting either average or below average season.
It does also.
I am interested in hearing what you have for the West Pac typhoon season.
Also, just quickly saying as well, it does also seem with SMN, the socio-meteorological, I think it's the Spexco meteorological agency, and also NOAA. They're both calling for a roundabout or slightly above average season. With SMN predicting 17 named storms, 9 hurricanes, and 4 majors, which that prediction was made on May 6th, 2016, and then also NOAA making their forecast on May 27th, with 13 to 20 named storms, 6 to 11 hurricanes, and 3 to 6 majors,
which is actually slightly a little bit above the average for Atlantic, which is interesting. I do think though, Michael, I do think they had a lot of questions because there's a bit of uncertainty that's going on with this season, and I do see where they have these uncertainties. I have a little bit of uncertainties in those same areas as well. However, I don't think they will be much of an issue as they are thinking. Especially in recent days, there's been more updated forecasts coming out. On the climate models are starting to come out with much more better and clearer data, and it's starting to produce something that would likely be a more active season. Even the NOAA Hurricane Center has indeed said themselves that they think the forecast is a bit on the low side, and they think it's quite possible that those numbers could very well be higher, and we could see those numbers change on their next updated forecast in August. So it's interesting.
And also, just saying on my numbers for the 2016 West Pac season, I'm looking possibly for around about. It's going to be a more below average season. The average for between 1965 and 2015 was 26 tropical storms, 16 typhoons, and 9 intense tropical cyclones, which I believe is super typhoons. And well, I'm looking more possibly. I would say it's going to be a hard one. I think it's Hmm. That's a difficult one to call, but I'm gonna take a stab here, and I'd say 25 depressions, of which we'd possibly expect 17 to become named storms, and then go on for 7 to become typhoons, and another 4 to become super typhoons, of which possibly 1 or 2 to become 5s.
Westpac is one of those basins where it is really hard to call because the Westpac has a lot of variability. Because number one, it has this reputation of being one of the most active basins in the world, which is very true.
Except there's been nothing since I think it was Tropical Depression 8C.
It's it's just the Westpac really isn't my speciality.
Well, it's to be expected. It's happened in every other El Nino La Nina transition. 1973, the biggest ones, 1973, 83, and 98, all had seasons that started in June or July. And lo and behold, we're about to enter June, and no activity in the Westpac. It's going to start soon.
Also, it's looking. Oh yeah. Just saying as well. Looking into the. Okay, go ahead, John.
I was calling in the Westpac for probably a slightly below average season. I'm looking for anywhere between 18 to 23 named systems, i.e. tropical storms. I am looking for the ballpark between 10 and 13 typhoons. And I'm looking for the ballpark of 4 to 9 typhoons that reach strength, category 3 equivalent strength. 1 minute wins.
Also,
slightly below average numbers.
Also, yeah, last big thing we had was Typhoon Malor back in December. That was the last big thing, and we had 29W, which hit Mindanao. And it's just not. It's still really hard to call whether what's going to happen. It's a lot of the weather now is becoming quite unpredictable. Because taking today, for example, in the United Kingdom, we had the temperatures were quite topsy-turvy.
It was forecast to be topsy-turvy, though. At least.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's like, because in the south of Britain, we're furthest away from the Arctic Circle, and like it's 11 degrees Celsius here, whereas up in Glasgow it's 21 degrees.
24 it's a bit actually in Glasgow today.
Well, that's just making it. That's just stabbing the knife in harder.
Sorry.
Okay. Can I also just do a quick update on what's happening at the moment?
What is happening at the moment? Very vague.
Like that. I mean, like storm-wise, what's developing?
We're sort of discussing.
I gotta. Make it quite brief because I am going to go into detail on the possible development of more systems around this area here. So, yeah, if you're going to be talking about that, sure, just make it brief because I'll be covering that in more detail.
Okay, so just quickly updating you guys on what's currently happening out there. Most of the activity in the Western Hemisphere, Northwestern Hemisphere, where we have Invest 91E located in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, located at 9.3 degrees north, 110.6 degrees west, with winds of 25 miles per hour, a pressure of 1,009 millibars, currently at a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours, 80% in the next 5 days. Expected possibly a tropical depression by the end of this week. What's your guys' thoughts on what that might peak at in intensity if it does develop?
You mean the system in the Western Caribbean Gulf of Mexico?
No, Invest 91E in the East
91E. Oh, 91E.
That one's up in the air.
Yeah, I'd take a stab, maybe tropical storm or so. I'm not too keen on 91E. I mean, it may become a weak hurricane. Might be a tropical storm.
I'm calling for another 2. I'd say.
I'm calling for a depression.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards that.
Okay, and also the other thing that's happening at the moment as well, got post-tropical cyclone Bonnie, with winds of 20 miles per hour, the pressure of 1,009 millibars. I believe the next advisory has just come in, up from 15 miles an hour. Storm's located at 33.5 degrees north, 77.7 degrees west, with movement northeast at 4 miles an hour. The advisory wasn't issued by the National Hurricane Center; it was issued by WPC, the Weather Prediction Center. So it's a possibility for Bonnie's redevelopment. They will have to wait and see what happens.
Certainly, yes. I couldn't say it any better than that. I do have to notice. I do have to say this though. The on the advisories, the pressures have indeed deepened on the system, as it was earlier this morning. 10, 11 millibars. Now it's at 1009. And the system is indeed moving more and more out to sea and closer to the Gulf Stream, the warmer waters of the Gulf Stream, which will aid in the system if it wants to redevelop. So that'll be interesting to look at.
We have an update as well on the tracker. The tracker actually has it at 30 miles an hour.
Yes, the National Hurricane Center's ATCF has it as a 30 mile an hour, 1008 millibar system, and it is indeed deepening. It definitely gives it even more credibility about possible redevelopment. Of course, we'll have to watch it. There's a lot of factors that go into it. How much of that warm water in the Gulf Stream is going to pull? How much load shear is the system going to have? How long is it going to have that lower wind shear for? And there's a lot of there's a lot of variables that go into it. It is definitely something that we here at Force 13, as well as here at Cayman Hurricane Center, as well as the National Hurricane Center, WPC, and other agencies, will be keeping a very, very close eye on. And we'll definitely all keep you updated on what the situation will be with that system.
On that note, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back with more storm discussion in just a few moments' time. Hold on to your fire, John.
Yep.
When most of us think of the world that we live in, we always look inwards. But some of us, every so often, like to look outwards. And that's where Astronomy Hour comes in on the Force 13 streaming service, where Michael Scott and friends will be talking about everything extraterrestrial. Every Sunday at 9 PM UTC. If you have any questions or comments about Force 13's live streaming service whilst we're on air, please send us a message through the YouTube comments section of the video, or you can send us a message through social mediums. Force 13 is on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and you can also contact Fool13 on Skype to talk about tropical storms at any time. Welcome back, this is Force 13 Live. My name's Nathan Foy, and the Skype team is joining us. Just before we go back into the conversation, Daniel's been listening in intently, haven't you, Daniel? You've not fallen asleep yet?
No.
What would you think of all this creative discussion about the... what are your storm totals for the Atlantic this year?
Oh, I don't know. there'll certainly be a lot of talking going on in the discussion.
No, yes, it has been a lively discussion, and I'm sure it's going to continue. John was lined up next. John, have you not forgotten what you're going to say? Hopefully you haven't.
Yes, I'm going to probably be leaving within the next few minutes.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta go to this banquet tonight, and I'm sorry I can't join you guys for the for the countdown. I'm sorry. I mean, I have to go to this thing. I mean, I'm in my school's theater group, so I gotta go. But if it was a different night, I'd be, you know, hanging on with you guys to the bitter end.
Curse that leap year, John. It would have been another day otherwise.
Oh.
Never mind.
I'll be able to stay for like 5 more minutes if Adam wants to explain what about the possibility of a different storm I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll mention that in a second. Just continue buying me some time here. I'm just sending a message.
Oh, okay, I'll buy time. So other than that, yeah. That's really. I just wish I could stay longer, but unfortunately.
Go ahead.
You want to speak, Michael? Go ahead. I have really nothing more to say.
I've just got an update on the countdown for the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now at 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 50 seconds.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. Obviously, over here, where the hurricane season timing matters the most here in the Caribbean and North America, we do have a good couple more hours to go before the official start of the season for us. So and I'm sure if John plans to return a little later on in the evening, we'll give you an update on the on this side of the Atlantic's countdown time clock.
Wonderful. David's been quiet recently. Have you got anything to say?
No, but actually at this point in time, we have a developing and fast change in the weather scene down here, but I'll keep that till later on today.
It's coming into the height of your winter, isn't it?
Well, we're not officially in winter yet. I think it's tomorrow, but it's the start today. 1st of June is the official start. But the overall weather scene, it's gone from one extreme to another extreme, but I'll provide the details later.
And Lee is here right now. I'm not sure if he'd like to add anything to the party right now about the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season.
I do have a few questions I would want to ask Lee, and if I could go ahead and fire those away to him. Lee, so we've been talking about it for months now. We've been spending countless long hours and long nights discussing it. What do you think with upcoming hurricane season, with and how the La Nina would be affecting the season? What do you think?
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be slightly above average season. I think we're going to see probably one of the strongest seasons since 2007. I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Temperature at Force 13 HQ, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It's tumbling, isn't it, Daniel? Are you getting cold over there? He's turning into a Colton.
That's weird.
Someone has an EastEnders ringtone.
Also, while we're at it, I would also mention here at Cayman Hurricane Center HQ, current temperature is about 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
Let's turn the numbers around from 58 to 85. I'll take the 58. If you've got any comments or questions
for
us whilst we're live, let us know.
That sounds like a very comfortable 28.5 degrees Celsius.
Also,
you sure you're not having hurricanes spawning at your HQ?
Just quickly saying as well, I forgot what I was going to say.
While Michael tries to remember that, I do have to point out that today at Cayman Hurricane Center's headquarters, we had reached for the first time in a very long time, to be honest, since August last year, we have reached 100 degrees earlier today.
Wonderful.
Woo! It's hot.
And I am dying. I am cooking in this heat, and I'm feeling miserable about it.
John,
do I need to get the barbecue sauce? Because I heard someone's cooking something. Okay. I really gotta go. I really overstayed my
Well, John, it is great having you on. I do wish that that you do come back and join us again a little bit later on.
We'll see if I can get back early. I'll see what I can do.
Right.
All right. So have a good evening, guys. Bye.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.
There's like a little voice in my ear over here.
I was going to quickly say as well, the countdown coming up to 2 hours 20, and also there's also, I have an announcement to make as well. Is that I'm just working on the templates at the moment, but I think I'm just about ready now. Is that I'm going to be launching the opportunity for some guys to put in requests for a hypothetical hurricane season.
Oh, joys.
I'm getting there on finishing the templates, but should be there within the next few days, and I'll be able to start taking requests from you guys. And also the options are as well, I possibly will be doing all basins, but there won't be any world ones. And as well, thinking about doing tornado ones as well. So it's another thing. The people will have to pick a local area. We can't go out too far. We can't go like countrywide. But pick a local area or like a county for it to be in, and we'll go from there really. So if you guys either email me or Nathan, somehow get the requests through, or contact me through my channel Force15. There should be a discussion panel. Or if not, I'll be putting out a video anyways tomorrow, so you guys can comment on that. But it's going to be an interesting time over the next sort of months or so. Next week I've got some exams to look forward to. Not looking forward to them, no. Have you guys got anything to look forward to as well?
Well, that's a little window into Michael's world, at least.
You looking forward to anything, Adam?
I am looking forward to having my little bit of a holiday in July. I probably might end up missing it if the season gets off to a bang start as it's doing so far. As my job entails many things, I will likely be definitely pushed to my limits and stressed out by the end of the season, I'm pretty sure. And not to forget to mention being wrecked by maybe a few, and maybe even possibly the Caribbean Cat 5 possibly. So yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see where that goes. So
All right, just over, what is it, 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes until we begin the Atlantic hurricane season. It doesn't mean that storms magically appear out of nowhere, but it does mean that we're officially into the season. It's sort of, the last 2 years become a little bit of a moot point, hasn't it? Because we've had storms form before the official start of the season.
Me and a lot of people in the field has definitely put it out there to WMO and to NAC that we should definitely change the official dates for the season to make it a little bit more similar with the East Pack, starting it May 15th and ending it December 15th. Because after all, we do get storms in December sometimes, and even in January, as we can't definitely forget with Alex earlier this year. So so we're looking at trying to get that going.
So it begs the question: has this season thing become obsolete?
I wouldn't say no, because I mean most of the activity is indeed occurring between May and end of November, early December. So I mean there is a clear sign that there is a season, but not to say that things won't happen out of season. I mean, you
could say the Westpac had a season this year.
Yeah. I mean, you got tornado season, and you could have tornadoes out of season. You could have winter season, and you may have one or two odd winter storms in late spring or early fall. It does happen. Not to say that, if you have a season, it will happen in that season. So,
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, I believe, and we'll leave you with some. We'll probably leave you with the noise of the outdoors at the moment. I'm not sure if there's much noise going on there anymore, but we're just going to take a little bit of a break and regroup, and we'll be back in a few moments. Hurricane Allen, Hurricane Wilma, Hurricane Gilbert, Hurricane Emily, and many more in a documentary from Playa del Carmen, Mexico, August the 2nd to the 13th on Force 13.
Únanse para la transmisión en vivo de Force 13 en español.
Estaremos en el aire por 2 horas todos los domingos por la noche.
Force 13 Spanish Show, Force 13 on Español, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Calling all Caribbean weather watchers, join us at the Force 13's Caribbean Weather Desk every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome back, we're live once more. My name's Nathan Foy, joined by Daniel Hudson right next to me. What are you doing? You're still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else am I going to be?
I don't know. Where else do you want to be?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, alright. Enough of you. What are we going to do with you? Let's bring in the Skype team. David, Adam and Lee still with us. How are you guys?
Not bad, thanks, Nathan.
Great. Absolutely.
Good to be here.
Absolutely ecstatic right now, to be honest. And we have our next guest on here now. We have Craig, another member of Force 13.
I am indeed.
How are you, Craig? How are you on this fine, lovely evening, or late night for you?
Late night for me. We're just still cooling down.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, we're supposed to have a very mild night, so it could be very uncomfortable for sleeping in.
Well, lucky you. Today we were 100 degrees. That's Fahrenheit.
Yeah, don't panic for those who think it was Celsius.
Oh, if that was Celsius, John would definitely have to bring out the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, before we go any further, I just want to read out some comments that we received during the last section. Mainly people talking about the beginning and ending points of hurricane season. Martinez says, I was thinking of pushing the season to May 1st instead of June 1st. Devon says, I say keep it the way it is because storms outside the season are very rare, 15%. Orlando says it happens occasionally. And there's been other dialogue, but it's I think it's split out there as to whether the season should stay the same or not.
Yes, sounds all good. Hey, right. So, Greg, so I will be giving you a couple of questions, and I look forward to hearing your answers on them. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah, right. Question number 1. What do you think this 2016 Atlantic hurricane season will bring?
Well, I think it'll bring a more active season. I think it would basically make 2013 and 2015 jealous, maybe even depressed. But to be honest, I see more major hurricanes this season, maybe a lot more tropical storms as well, if I'm going to go for active. Maybe not too active, depending on how, obviously the main question is depending on how, La Nina plays out, if it happens, which it now does look like it's going to happen at any time.
It's already, we're already in the cold negatives now, so yes, indeed.
So, to be honest, is it too soon to say? I'd rather wait and see what the La Nina brings, see what she does to the Atlantic, whether she plays nicely or she plays like the bully and pulls.
So, do you have any preseason numbers that you're kind of guessing around? You could say it's between this and this, or you could give precise numbers. You could always revise that forecast as we get into July and August if you want. But do you have any ideas on numbers for this preseason moment?
Not at this moment, no.
All right, sounds good. Do you have any thoughts about the East Pack, Central Pack, and West Pack season?
Well, the West Pacific I've near enough fallen asleep over. East Pacific's keeping me somewhat awake because we've got an invest there that's 91E. I don't know how well that's doing at the minute. I haven't checked it recently. I know it's got a high chance in the next 5 days, but I know it's got an incredibly low chance in the next 48 hours. I think the last time I've seen it was 80% in the next 5 days and 10% in the next 48 hours. So that's basically next to no chance at all for formations.
At the moment, the way that some of us are looking at it, we're saying maybe tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm. I say maybe just making it to Cat 1 at best, but I'm having my doubts on that. I'm thinking tropical storm, tropical depression probably, storm probably. What about so we looked at the East Pack and the West Pack. What do you think about Central? How do you think Hawaii is going to handle?
Well, to be honest, I think Hawaii, I don't know when the last time they were hit by a hurricane or any sort of tropical cyclone, but to be honest, they should be more prepared this year for hurricane landfalls because, obviously it's going to be La Nina, but it depends on how the Pacific obviously plays out and how strong La Nina gets during the year. But to be honest, Central Pacific may not have as much activity. I don't think we'll see the probably the spectacular moment of witnessing 3 Category 4 hurricanes at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be happening again in a good little while.
Nah, not until probably the next strong El Nino. That might not happen for a while. That's not going to happen for a while yet, anyway. So we can keep waiting.
Not for another decade or so.
And those who are hoping for another Patricia, just get that out of your head real quick, because that's not going to happen for years.
I'm thinking we could possibly see a Patricia, but not in the Pacific, but rather in the Atlantic. It is
possible.
A possibility.
But it's possible, but there's the word depending in there, depending on how La Nina plays out.
Yes, definitely. Indeed.
See, this is the question. It's orbiting around every single season at the minute, and it's that dreaded thing, La Nina. What's it going to do? How is it going to play out? How strong is it going to be? When's it going to form? When's it going to be official that we're now in La Nina? Because already we are neutral so far.
I also do want to point out to everybody that we have the Enzo that is one of the larger driving factors, but there are indeed other factors that play in. We got the AMO, the PDO, we have the African monsoon, the Indian monsoon, the Central American, Southwest Caribbean monsoon, that all play, and many other factors that all play into how this season can be. So we're not discounting the rest of them. It's just one of the main factors is the Enzo. So, yeah.
But to be honest, obviously, as I'll keep saying until basically I'm blown out in the face, is that it's La Nina that's going to be the question. It's basically near enough every single year. Will there be, maybe, I don't know, if there's going to be a weak La Nina this year, or we go back to neutral next year. That's how unpredictable these sort of things are. I mean, heck, I didn't even know there was going to be an El Nino. And it just basically intensified out of nowhere, really.
Yes. I just want to also point out what the current consensus and forecast is for us to be somewhere around a moderate La Nina and could even see a strong La Nina, and it looks, and looking long-term wise, we could be possibly looking at a multi-year La Nina. And we have seen this occur before. Whenever we do get these strong El Ninos, half the times the year after and a couple years after that, we do end up having quite a decent La Nina, and they end up being multi-year La Ninas. So we could possibly be seeing this continue for a good couple years to come. We could be seeing this little bit of an active period in with storms due to this multi-year La Nina. Before we start heading back into neutral and even possibly our next El Nino. But anyway, that's possibly a few years down the line. So we'll stick with the here and now.
I think that's what we're better off doing for the time being. I think it'd be all, how can I say, not very clever if we were to just start out that there's going to be a strong El Nino next year, or a La Nina is going to last through, let's say, the remaining of this year or next year as well.
But it's very interesting that the records in terms of climatology after big El Ninos, more likely than not, it's gone on to multi-year La Ninas. But we'll talk about that more in just a moment. We're going to go to our hour break, and we'll be back with the team in just a few moments.
Yep. Hey, can you hear that? The sea in the background, washing in here on a fantastic beach in Australia. What's 13 AU? We're going to be talking about weather, storms, and everything else that's Australian-based in the world of weather and storms.
Tune in to Force 13 Australia every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 AM Australian Eastern Time.
Hello and welcome to Force 13's live hangouts. As you can see, my name's Nathan Foy, and today, at least for the first minute, I'm upside down. I'm joined by my fellow upside down friends. Craig, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm upside down.
Fantastic. Daniel, hello.
Hello.
And the noise is coming from John.
I can't go upside down. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
If you spot a blooper on the Force 13 channel at any time this year in 2016, watching the 2015 bloopers right there, send us a message to our usual mediums and make a note of which point, at which time that you saw that blooper and which video it is if it's already one that's online, and we'll consider it for the 2016 blooper reel. Oh boy, here we go again.